three-quarter court by Jackson State. And they're in a man-to-man defense here in the quarter court as well.
Edwards playing with the mask because she has a broken nose. This is her first game in 2 weeks. Bueckers somehow got around a couple of players. The building soaking it on it all in, but not in all.
Not in all, and they're ready for this moment. And credit Coach Reed and her staff for mentally preparing them to be here, and not just be here, but be ready to execute.
Ran the table in the SWAC regular season and won the tournament. Bueckers does it again. Come on now, she got fouled as well.
We forget about how lanky and crafty Paige Bueckers is until she tries to get to the cup. She got touched on the shoulder and she said, oh, I've been in the weight room though. She swelled up to let you know that she's strong and she can get through the wickets and smooch it.
I mean, a lot of play. Never good when you see him in sweats.
No.
Avent into the game for Jackson State, and everything is going Paige Bueckers' way in this game.
After you commit a defender like Brady to the ball.
Mule threw it in traffic, and that resulted in a turnover. Going right at Paige Bueckers, a lot of contact, and no foul has been called. The ball stays
with their journey, especially over the last couple of months. Dia Barnes, she has really gotten them to stay discipline-minded.
Paige Bueckers. Oh, that was a good defensive play by Crump. And
is that goaltending?
The UConn players are asking for goaltending, and they got it. Maya Crump going up.
Oh boy, look at this block, or attempt of a block, right up there at the rim area, and that shot was on the way down.
Well, it hit the backboard, so that was it. But you don't see that call a lot in women's basketball.
This Jackson State squad, who has been anemic here in the first half in patches and stretches, but she has the cure for that in the last couple of possessions.
Mule inside to Bueckers, and they get perfect in Cleveland, Ohio.
Love to see it. So many eyes on women's basketball and women's athletics in general. Everybody watches women's sports.
Mule decides not to challenge Jackson, who's an elite shot blocker. Bueckers is just a genius at creating space for herself.
Absolutely, and also she's a genius at Edwards is wide open downstairs. KK Arnold just decided to bring it back out and take some time here.
This time Edwards returns the favor into Bueckers.
Just dialing it up.
That's awesome. And the SEC on the men's side.
Yeah. Oh, some hits.
Heavy hits for them early on in this tournament. Bueckers. Beautiful finish for Bowler. First team all SWAC performer. Senior, another Mississippi native on this squad. Arnold from distance. For UConn, they start a couple of true freshmen in Arnold and Shade. Nika Mule, who has said this is going to be her last season, has been a mainstay and one of the best point guards in the history of this program. We've already talked about Edwards and Bueckers and their importance. KK Arnold, one of the freshmen who start with the miss, but Shade gets him an extra 20 seconds.
And that's what we were just talking about, right? The extra pass, Paige made that to the corner. Even though the shot didn't fall, it was the proper play.
Shade left open, and Bueckers found her again in the face.
Listen, you don't think Paige Bueckers can score 40 a game? She could definitely do that, but she loves to facilitate and set the team up in great ways.
Coming up with the rebound. Bueckers, another zip of a pass. Back to Paige. Shade. Bueckers a couple of times passing up open shots.
Yeah. But that was the proper play. I'm applauding the extra pass because you love to see that. You don't see that a lot.
Inside and the finish for Shade.
It took, not necessarily that you won, but what it took to win.
Bueckers brilliant with the hesitation and then couldn't get by. Shade with the finish.
Shade has been fantastic. Really productive on both sides. She disrupted that one into a bigger body once she got past that primary defender, and it didn't matter.
Off the inbounds, Bueckers finds just a little bit of bowler.
Love the aggression that Jackson State is continuing to push.
Yes.
Some of it's something a little more heavy than that, but that's the gist of it. But wow, Iowa, they have an opportunity with the last season for Caitlin Clark in an Iowa Hawkeye uniform to get it done.
Yeah, but she's not going to use her last year of eligibility.
Jackson State, they've just been trying every kind of thing on the defensive end, trying to slow down UConn. Motion offense.
That is just...
It's just tough to stop that, but you have to rotate on the pass. If you're going to be in this zone, matchup kind of defense, you got to be ready.
Here comes Paige. Picking the stick. Paige Bueckers. 3 UConn Huskies have at least 20 points in this game. They're up 80-52.
UConn having their way here in Stores in the passing lanes. Once again, is Paige Bueckers laying one in. How about that? Well, Woolley yesterday in practice, her shot was not falling, and Coach Jack was on her saying, hey, we need you, especially without the services of Rice, who averages 10 a game.
I think she got that message. Leah Edwards finishes on the other end for the Huskies. Here's Fair. Ball knocked away. Bueckers forces a turnover. Nika Mule, the very talented point guard. Bueckers with some flash.
Number 34 in orange for Syracuse, one of the post players, a transfer from Michigan. Woolley floater. Edwards gets it. Arnold. Bueckers somehow was able to Division I in scoring, and she's a very good chance of becoming number 4 today to pass Jackie Stiles.
Absolutely, she's 9 points away from that and 10 to go over.
A Bueckers block. Paige Bueckers flying out of nowhere.
How about this block? Paige Bueckers may have lost a step right there, but got there in time to send that one to the 5th row. Phenomenal.
To get around 3 defenders and get an assist. Oh boy. But then, no hesitation, that's all Arnold needed.
Edwards had lost Vergel right there. If she had been able to handle it, she probably could have scored easily in there.
Bueckers with a nice feed from Mule. UConn runs. Syracuse has more turnovers than made field goals.
Well, Syracuse can't settle for the shots that UConn is giving them. They need to take their shots.
Bueckers with the floater.
Right there. She may be diminutive on the outside, but she is a monster on the inside.
That stops a 13-0 UConn run. Bueckers thought about it, then got inside. Tremendous bounce pass over to Edwards. Bueckers and Edwards are always on the same page.
The 5-0 advantage on second chance points, but they've got to get their primary shots down and selected better.
Fair getting it over to Woolley, who hit a couple of threes early. Bueckers with the burst of speed, takes it herself. Checks back in. A Temple transfer. Edwards gets it over to Shade. Bueckers. First offensive board, and she
said as much. Right now, Syracuse has an 8-5 advantage on offensive rebounds, where they're 6th best in the country.
Bueckers with the kick. The Aussie.
Here's some extra defensive attention to the basketball right now that Syracuse is showing.
Inside Bueckers, turns, shoots, hits.
Second chance opportunities on the last couple of possessions for Syracuse. And give UConn credit for getting a body on and maintaining contact to disallow those extra possessions. Bueckers elevates.
Puck is off. The fans stand and Bueckers looks at Gino. He said go. She does, and she hits it.
She's definitely capable of catching fire, and she knows what's in front of her, a trip to the Sweet 16 on the line, so she's going to definitely try to dial it up. But Paige Bueckers has something to say about that.
That has been it offensively.
In that first half, UConn turned it over 5 times, but Syracuse was able to score 10 points off as Paige gets a nice dime there. With Easy yesterday about that, and she said, oh, it was a while ago, but we didn't play good defense, and Paige didn't play in that scrimmage. We were just different.
Bueckers gonna do it all by herself, flips it up over her head and draws the foul. An easy fuzz. Aim for fair.
You have to stay in her space. Yesterday at practice, Gino Ariema said, you've got to be in the picture. If you can't see the camera, you're not going to be in the picture. Nobody was in the picture there defensively.
What a quick move by Bueckers.
She gets in a 2-man game here with Edwards to close the third.
Bueckers working on Woolley, kicks it out, Shade from the corner. Ashlyn Shade just beats the buzzer to get the lead back up to 9.
UConn playing tough here at home.
Three-point shot is under
Paige Bueckers kicking it out to the corner to Slim Shady. Ashlyn Shade putting it down through the net for a triple. UConn up. Great.
And the winner of this game will get to take on Duke in Portland in the Sweet 16. Duke pulling off the upset of Ohio State. Yesterday, Cam Ward and Christy Scott joining you. Paige Bueckers
come up huge. She's knocked in a handful of threes now to stay right in this game.
Girls 5 of 7 from distance. Starting today for Rice, out with the concussion. Mule saw a little bit of daylight, then kicks it out to Paige Bueckers. Paige has
it now.
Off the inbounds, Latham makes it a 2-point game. It's an 8-0 Syracuse run. Most of the fans that sold out Gamble are on their feet. Bueckers, little hesitation and hits. And since Mule has gone out of the game, Syracuse has outscored UConn 14-1. Accentuating how important she has been to them. Still a 1-possession game, so Syracuse is not fouling.
Smart.
Bueckers over to Arnold. Got it to roll in. Paige Arnold, the true freshman.
KK Arnold. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. The young freshman growing up right in front of our eyes gets the Plinko roll for the triple. Everybody in Gamble, they were already on their feet, but on this one, all hands in the air.
Into the passing lane. The starting lineups brought to you by Capital One. Arnold, Bueckers, Mule, Shade, and Aaliyah Edwards. Nika Mule is their all-time assist leader, career, single season, and single game. The best distributor they've had.
What's going to be interesting to me in watching the Duke defense is, can they speed UConn up? Because when you take them deep into the shot clock, they got that. A bucket getter.
Richardson, 25 points in the first round against Richmond, and then a career-high 28 against Ohio State in the second round for Duke.
She had a total of 53 points in the tournament coming into the game. The prior 3, she had a total of 15. So she's really picked it up in the NCAA.
They pulled off the biggest upset so far over the Buckeyes as Paige Bueckers hangs and hits.
To be able to contest.
6'3" senior out of Canada. She's playing with a new face mask today. The broken nose suffered in the Big East tournament. She missed a couple of games for Connecticut, but then returned for the NCAA tournament. Bueckers ties her up and turns him over.
The Caitlin Clark and the Angel Reese and Company show.
Debbie, you and I have been doing this a long time. You
28.
You a little longer than me since you're older, but have we seen or felt the kind of electricity for a non-Final Four night that we're going to have?
No way. I mean,
don't believe so.
The whole tournament, really, by the Blue Devils, right? I mean, young, hesitating. I mean, the pace hasn't even indicated anybody getting a sweat going yet.
No. See if Bueckers can start putting her footprint on this one. Drives into the lane and draws the foul. Nika, baseline, nice slash to the basket for Bueckers and one.
You've got to be ready on the weak side for that cut when Mule drives baseline, because she's going to pass. She's not going to score. This is a great drive, brings 2 to the ball, no one even near. And they have had a chance to play 8 players where UConn's stuck with the same 5. But they've got to get into the depth of UConn, and they haven't been able to do that yet. And it's challenging. Not many people can, but you got to put some pressure. Are less. Transition is harder. You got to execute in the quarter court on both sides of the ball. And you need great guard play.
Under a minute. Inspo left unattended.
I'd put Ice Brady in as much ball screen action as possible.
Jackson, no. Oh, what a play by Paige Bueckers to get the box out and then snag the loose ball and then feed it to KK Arnold. The other 4 starters played all 20 minutes, and Aaliyah played 18 minutes. So see if Duke can try and wear him down a little bit in this second half. Bueckers will knock down her first shot.
Nice stick back. You got to be aggressive in the Edwards matchup with those 3 fouls. I think that's the first low post bucket that Duke has had.
Oh, Bueckers, heat check.
Hey. Of interior play, and they continue to make poor decisions with the basketball. That's why you and me are sitting over here, not on that side.
Bueckers gets a kind roll.
All that screening action, she's got one of the quicker defenders on the floor on her. She still can shake them.
Bueckers drains the inbound. Hardly touched the rim onto
the wing. You got to decide what side of the floor you're going to go to. And if you're going to pass it to the left side, then take the lane line extension. Get to that point, shorten your angle, and make the pass.
Duke ended that third quarter on an 8-3 run to try and chip away. Bueckers. Timeouts are going to be incredibly valuable for Connecticut here down the stretch. They have 3 starters that have played every minute tonight. Bueckers gets a block underneath. Rebound and a second chance here for Southern Cal. Debbie, very similar to our first game. Both these teams are at their best playing a fast tempo.
Yeah, and it's not just this vertical speed, it's the quarter court speed. Just like that, 5 lifted above the free throw line. She knew that play was coming.
Both sides chilly to open up the game, shooting it under 30%. Mule, the all-time assist leader at UConn. That's saying something with all their great point guards. Edwards strong to the rim. Double digits. Forbes calls for it. She's really developed into their leader. Playing with a lot of confidence and poise. Paige Bueckers will counter, and she will go right at Padilla and draw the foul. That's adventurous with her shot taking and shot making. Juju. Errant on the pass.
I mean, Juju doesn't need much space to go where she needs to go. She can make a play in a tight space.
Bueckers off the cross and the dish as she drops it off for Edwards.
So the trend